Imagine that someone's asking you to find the real roots of a polynomial, and all you've been given is a paper, ruler, and pencil. If it's a linear equation, some strategic adding, subtracting, and dividing should do the trick. If it's a quadratic equation, graphing in the quadratic formula always get an answer, even when factoring or completing the square fail. But what about third-degree polynomials and higher? They are formulas involving radicals for third and fourth-degree polynomials, albeit difficult to memorize and not commonly known, and none for fifth-degree polynomials and higher. But what if you could solve a third-degree polynomial by folding that piece of paper in a very specific way? In 1936, Margherita Piazzola Beloch created a method to do just that by employing the powers of origami. Beloch was born on July 12, 1879 in Italy. However, neither of her parents were Italian. Her father, Carl Julius Beloch, was German, and her mother, Bella Bailey, was American. Carl Julius, a classical and economic historian, was skeptical of traditional historical sources, which alienated him from the established historians in Germany and necessitated his move to Italy, where he secured a teaching position. Bella Bailey was born in the state of Washington to a family that could count Abraham Lincoln among their friends. They would have Margherita in 1879 and her younger sister Dorothea in 1883. Both sisters would play important roles in Italian culture. Dorothea became an influential opera singer. Beloch began her journey in academia in 1908, finishing her thesis on birational transformations in space under the guidance of Guido Castelnuovo at the University of Rome La Sapienza. Castelnuovo proved to be a supportive mentor. Beloch's first position was as his assistant to the chair of analytical and projective geometry, and his focus on educational methods is reflected in her career. After working for several years in descriptive geometry, Beloch obtained her teaching certification in 1924 and competed successfully against other mathematicians for the geometry professorship at the University of Ferrara. She taught many topics in advanced mathematics and pursued research on surfaces and photogrammetry, the science of extracting spatial information from images. This research helped her to invent the precisometer, which applied photogrammetry to calculate distances from radiation, and won the 1938 Silver Cup at the Leonardo da Vinci Exhibition of Inventions in Milan, just 2 years after her work on origami and third-degree polynomials. She also published on her expertise in mathematics education. In 1953, she wrote about the educational benefits of geometric constructions and specific technologies for secondary teachers to employ. Although Beloch retired in 1954, she continued to pursue research as a professor emeritus beginning in 1955. In particular, she curated works for the Italian Society of Photogrammetry and Topography in 1967. While Beloch enjoyed a well-established career and lived to be 97, she faced many personal difficulties. World War I rocked Europe between her graduation and professorship. During the war, her German father was interned as a foreign alien. Because of the tense relations between Italy and Germany, Beloch did not obtain Italian citizenship for much of her life. Although Carl Julius was released after World War I, her mother Bella wouldn't live to see the Armistice of Villa Giusti and the end of the war. She died early in 1918. When Mussolini began passing anti-Semitic legislation that restricted Jewish people from Italian society before World War II, Beloch's mentor Castelnuovo, an Italian Jew, entered into hiding to secretly organize mathematics courses for Jewish students. Throughout her time at the University of Ferrara, Beloch wrote many letters to the Ministry of Education to ask to be transferred to a university closer to her family in Rome. However, it is perhaps thanks to the University of Ferrara that her work has gained wider recognition today. It was the first international meeting of origami science and technology in Ferrara in 1989 that widely distributed her writings on paper folding and prompted inquiry into her discoveries. It's truly incredible to see all the work that she accomplished despite the immense pressures that she must have faced.